On number 2, we have a four-sided figure, and since it's a regular polygon, that makes that a square. On this square, you were given the radius as 12 centimeters. This triangle wasn't drawn, just the radius. And so we want the apothem, side length, and number of sides. The number of sides, of course, is 4 since it's a square. Remember, the radius acts as an angle bisector, and since each of these angles of a square are 90 degrees, that radius is bisecting it into two 45-degree angles. So when we sketch in the apothem, making a right angle relationship with that side and bisecting that side, we've created a 45, 45, 90 triangle. Since this is 45, that's 90, that has to be 45 to add up to be 180 degrees. So the radius is across from the 90-degree angle. That makes it the hypotenuse. To find the legs of this 45, 45, 90 triangle, I take the hypotenuse and divide by the square root of 2. Since we cannot have a radical in the denominator, we rationalize it by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the square root of 2. So in the numerator, we have 12 square roots of 2. In the denominator, the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is the square root of 4, which is just 2. And then the 12 divided by 2 would simplify to 6. So we have 6 square roots of 2 for our two legs that are congruent to each other. So that gets me the apothem is 6 square roots of 2. It gives me half of the side length. So when I double 6 square roots of 2, remember only the number outside the radical is going to be multiplied by the 2. So the side length is 12 square roots of 2. Only the 6 is doubled. So now if you're using your 1/2 apothem times perimeter formula, you have 1/2 times the apothem times the number of sides times the side length. So I know half of 6 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 12 is 144. Now, the square root of 2 is not just going to be in my answer because I have a square root of 2 times the square root of 2, which remember is just 2. So I have 144 times 2, which is 288, and my units were centimeters, so that's centimeters squared. So I don't have a radical in my answer because the square root of 2 is being multiplied by the square root of 2. Remember, you have another way of getting the same answer for a square, because the area of a square can also be found by simply taking the side and multiplying it by itself, or squaring it. So the side length was 12 root 2, so it'd be 12 root 2 times 12 root 2. The 12 times the 12 is 144. The square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is 2, and 144 times 2 is 288. So on the squares, you might want to use one way and then use the other way as a check to make sure you get the same thing. So 288 square centimeters.